It's a great honor to be here in Lyon. Thierry Frémaux have been receiving both me and Mads Mikkelsen with great honor and very celebratory mode. And we've been flying, so that's great. And this festival is particularly important right now, I guess, because people are hiding back in their sofas. And Thierry is fighting to get people back into the theaters for this collective experience in the darkness. Definitely. And it couldn't make more sense than doing that here in this town of Lumière, where everything started. So that's great. We were very nervous about releasing the movie in Denmark, but it seems that there's a great want to go to the cinema. People are flocking into the theaters, and it works. Our numbers, Corona numbers, are going down, but people are running into the cinema, so that's nice. It's actually possible. Well, Drunk just opened 3 weeks ago, but it's going incredibly well. And people watch it more than one time because they're ecstatic about the movie, and it's very honorable. I look at the books written by Hemingway in Paris. He was not sober either. So that was the beginning. I quickly realized that this miracle liquid, socially accepted liquid, that elevates people, makes people fall in love, makes people marry, but it also kills people and destroys families. And I found that fascinating and interesting. So I wanted to investigate that. When you push boundaries, the element of risk is introduced. And when there's risk in your life, you become curious, awake, alert, present, awakened. So yes, they're pushing the boundaries to awaken themselves. Well, there is no such thing as best in acting. But if there was, it would probably be Mads. He's an extraordinarily great actor. And there's a deep trust between us. He's devoting himself entirely to what I'm asking him to do. And he opens up to a deep place. And he's really doing that brilliantly. It's like the film contains blah, 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 chitter, chitter, chatter, laughing, and then the silence together with Mads, which says even more. It's incredible what he can do just with his eyes. We looked at the Le Grand Bouffe with great admiration. It's a masterpiece. And in a way, someone described my film as a beautiful catastrophe. And Le Grand Bouffe is that. Sorba the Greek is that. They actually say the words beautiful catastrophe at the end before they start dancing. I also looked at Husbands by Cassavetes. Fight Club, actually, as well. But Le Grand Bouffe, yes, of course. Well, I find both Nicolas Winding Refn and Lars and myself incredibly different. But yet still, there's some radicality present. And maybe it's a reaction against something slightly oppressive by being in a very small, rational country that is defined as the happiest country in the world. But there is something radical in Danes. There's also something radical in how we drink. Like we have this thing called Christmas lunch, which is where every workplace goes crazy once a year at Christmas, and like our carnival to some extent. So yeah, it's a particularly Danish thing, I guess. Many Danes feel very suburban, like looking up to countries such as England or France. When I grew up in the 70s and I went to the supermarket, everything French was luxurious. So it was called French soap. Then you could take more money for it. Or French wine, of course, in particular. But everything French was just great. So we have
I've seen the movie with restaurants for Bourgogne and things like
you know, there's an element of Francophilia in my country. And then there's an element of pride, of course, about being Danish. But what I can say, what I think is more important is that this is my love declarance to being Danish, for good and for worse. Also to the radical and crazy part of being Danish.
Thank you very much, Thomas.
Thank you very much.
With pleasure, and a great pleasure to see the movie as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
You liked it?
definitely.
Very good. That's,
Yeah.
That's nice.
It will be released in France
Wednesday?
Wednesday. That's it.
Actually, tomorrow night.